my socks off right away today. Okay, so find a comfortable seat. And close your eyes. And I guess if today's class had a theme, if we could focus today on what it is that we want to feel more of rather than less. So instead of less knee pain, less back pain, less neck pain, shoulder pain, or whatever, less emotional pain, maybe I want to, what could it be that we would want to feel more of? Peace or balance or and somewhere with your eyes closed and in your first few breaths are the seeds of that thing that you want to feel more of. But even more of has its limits, right? More ice cream is not always better, right? So follow your breath on this path in. Very simple meditation that's offered in Thich Nhat Hanh's tradition is I'm aware that I'm breathing in and I'm aware that I'm breathing out. I'm aware that I'm breathing in and I'm aware that I'm breathing out. I'm aware that I'm breathing in and my belly expands with my breath in. I'm aware that I'm breathing out and my belly draws in gently as I breathe out. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. As I breathe in, I'm aware of how softly the breath passes by my nostrils. As I breathe out, I'm aware of how softly the breath passes through my nostrils. Still aware of my breath, I can allow my face and eyes and jaw to all relax as I breathe in. Breathing out, I let my neck and shoulders and back all relax. sense of groundedness and density to the earth. I feel things down, energy down in my lower energy centers. Each long, slow breath out feeds that connection. Release from your seated breathing and rock back onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. Realize how challenging it is at home to find a quiet place where you can find your center. Breath can take us there no matter how crazy it seems to get on the outside. Might take a little longer. Make a little circle with your knees. Both directions. Walk your hands underneath your lower hips, the top of your glutes, and squeeze your arms in towards your body so you can feel your ribs up against part of your body. And straighten your legs up overhead. Notice what happens to the breath now. The right leg straight overhead, and with your eyes closed, judge it with your eyes closed. Very slowly allow your left leg to drop down, all the way down to the floor, and rest there. And just to slowly bring it back up overhead. When you think your leg is straight up overhead, then begin to drop the right leg down. Keep your eyes closed. All the way to the floor. Rest there briefly and then begin the return journey to both legs up overhead. Make the soles of your feet big and push out through the balls of your feet and heels of your feet. Squeeze the toes back towards your body. Legs can touch together and lower both legs down. Again with your eyes closed. Find your own pace. You may need to bend the knees also to support your practice this morning. And rest once you touch. begin the journey back overhead again. Do this a couple more times. Keep your focus below your belly button. The next time you come down, hover your legs above the floor and walk up onto your elbows and forearms and look down at your toes that are reaching back towards your face. In the old days, the old root swings, we used to call this dragon. And we'd stay here for like 10 minutes. Not really. And release everything to the floor. Let your arms come out from underneath your body. Bend your knees. Walk your fingertips towards your heels, palms. Rest lightly on the floor and begin to pelvic rock by arching your lower back away from the floor and then release it to the floor. If you feel all warmed up and you're ready for more already, you can turn this into a rolling bridge pose. Or you can stay here. Good. Release back to neutral with your knees bent. Lift your hips up a little bit, slide them a couple inches to the right, and drop your knees to the left. Reach the right arm out and turn and look right. Your left hand can grab the outside of your right thigh or knee, or you can rest your left hand in between your knees. Sometimes a pillow or a blanket in between the knees feels nice. You can optionally straighten the legs out to the side and stack them on top of each other. And gently let them bend again. And release back onto your mat, knees bent. Lift your hips up again. Slide them a couple inches over to the left. Drop your knees to the right. Reach your left arm out to the side. And look left. can straighten your legs if you wish to take that option. If you have the room. Good, and release back. Interlace your fingers around the front of your right knee. Straighten your left leg out onto the floor and draw the right knee up towards your right shoulder. And then open the right knee a little bit out to the side, so outside of the right shoulder. Keep drawing it up towards the shoulder. Push out through the sole of your left foot, and your left toes are straight towards the ceiling. Release, bend the left knee up, interlace your fingers around the front of your left knee, straighten the right leg out onto the floor. Draw the left knee up towards your shoulder. Settle there for a moment before you open the left knee a little bit out to the side. And bend your right knee up and hook a hand around your right knee and a hand around your left knee and open your knees up wide and draw both knees towards the outside line of your shoulders. And flex your ankles. Squeeze your big toes towards each other and then away from each other. Release your feet to the floor with your knees bent. Right knee on top of your left knee. Your right foot on top of your left knee. And lace your fingers behind the back of your left thigh. Arms stay relaxed. Neck stays relaxed. If you have a belt at home, sometimes you would use a belt here. But looking at the folks who are here in this class, probably nobody would use that option. If you've never tried interlacing your fingers in front of your left shin just below the knee before, you can choose that option. This intensifies the opening in your right hip just a little bit. Keep your breath awareness the whole time. Good. Keep your feet lifted off the floor as you unhook your right foot and bring your left foot in front of your right knee and find the same position on the other side with your hands either behind the back of your right thigh or in front of your right shin. Good. Keep your legs and feet lifted off the floor still.
but unhook your legs. So almost like we're going to do sleeping tiger, but not quite. You don't have to have that precision today. But the exercise is for 2 minutes. Our head is up, feet up, knees up, hands up. So nothing, your feet and hands and head can't touch the floor. You can straighten your legs or bicycle wheel your knees or do anything you want, but it's going to stay in motion or in the air for 2 minutes. I don't have a good clock in front of me, so I'm going to guesstimate. The other option here, while you're doing this, and if you want to play, because I know you want to play, is to roll over onto your belly and keep everything lifted still. I can't see anybody. Oh, there we go. A few people are taking the option. Good. Lift everything up. Now the tricky part here is, once you've had enough time on your belly, swimming on the floor, to roll back onto your back without touching your hands or feet to the floor. Yes. Much easier to do in bed. All right. Reach your hands up, touch your toes. Index finger to your big toe, middle finger to your next toe over, the ring finger to the third toe, pinky finger to the fourth toe, and then grab the outside of your feet with your hands and come into happy baby. Good. Release your feet to the floor, roll to the right, and press yourself up into a seated position. Staff pose with your legs out straight in front of you. And sit up nice and tall with your back. Lift your ribs up. Energize the bottom of your legs. So draw the soles of your feet back towards your body gently and then relax. Keep the crown of your head lifted. And slide your left knee out, bend your left foot up towards your left glute. Wrap your left arm around then your right, sage pose. Inflate your belly against your left thigh. Then deflate your belly as you breathe out. Good. Release your hands down by your side. A little different dismount today. Good. Lock out your elbows and squeeze the inside of your elbows towards your ribs. Enough so that it's easy for you to press your tailbone away from the floor. Lift your tailbone up. Good. Right leg straight, left knee bent. Lift your right leg up. I don't know where all this craziness is coming from this morning. I have no idea. It must be a holiday. I know it is. All right, we're going to try this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try. Bring your right foot on top of your left knee, and then come back down. We'll end up in seated pigeon. That's a new move. I'm going to patent that one. So you guys saw it first. Carol liked it. This is good. Zoom with audience interaction. See, that's what the benefit of having faces on there. I can see the smiles and the reactions. It's good for me. It's all about me. Rock a little bit from side to side. All right. Take a breath in. And then exhale, press up, press your hips away from the floor. Squeeze your chest open and your shoulder blades together. It's the action in the hands and the arms that create the lift. It doesn't have to be that high. We're imperfectly in reverse table right now, but it's totally fine. And release everything back down to the floor. Straighten your left leg out. Keep the right knee bent and draw the right heel towards your body. Wrap the right arm around, coming into sage pose on the other side. And wiggle your ribs up your left thigh, your right thigh. Relax your shoulders. Challenge yourself to squeeze your belly full of air and press it against the right thigh. One instruction on this method of breathing that I often missed was you want to make sure that when you squeeze the breath out, you draw the belly back in as strongly as you draw it out. It's easy to push the belly out hard. Not as easy to draw the belly in to finish the breath. None of us want to walk around with Buddha belly, so squeeze it in just as much. And keeping these stomach muscles warm and active actually helps blood and energy and oxygen circulate. So we breathe better, we digest better. Good. And release your arms down to the side. Walk the inside of your arms and elbows and biceps towards your body. Feel them brushing against your body a little bit. Open your chest. And lift the hips up off the floor. Then your left leg. And then cross your left foot on top of your right knee and drop the hips back down to the floor. You'll end up in seated pigeon. You can rock a little bit from side to side. So in seated pigeon, the left ankle is just below the knee to start. And if you could draw the heel of your foot all the way down to the crease in your right leg if you wanted to. Good, come back to center and press the tailbone away from the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and open the front of your chest. Push into your arms, all of your fingers, the palms of your fingers and thumb press into the floor. Good, and release back down. Straighten your right leg, then the left. Back into staff pose. Close your eyes and rest here with a straight spine. And then roll to your right side and come onto your hands and knees. Widen your knees up, big toes touch, take a breath in. Keep your arms long and fingertips walking towards the top of the mat. Come into child's pose. to table. Straighten your left leg behind you and roll the left hip up towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand back to your left hip. Extend your left arm towards the front of the room today. Palm faces the floor. So long through your left side. Drop your left hand down to the floor, roll your left hip back towards the mat. Bend your left knee. Find your left foot with your right hand. Draw your left knee and thigh away from the floor. Drop your right hand to the floor, keep your left knee lifted and bent. Then swing your left knee around towards the front, towards your left elbow, and hold it there for 1, 2, 3 breaths. And release. Back to table. Extend the right leg up straight. Roll the hip up towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand back to your left hip. Find your balance. Take your time. Extend the right arm straight overhead towards the front of the room. So your body is long, and open your right armpit up towards the ceiling. Flex your right foot. Squeeze space in between your toes. Activate your quad. Energize the right side of your body. Good. Roll the right hand to the floor. Bend the right knee. Reach back and grab the top of your right foot with your left hand. Release back to table. Slide your hips back towards your heels. Bring a prop with you if you need one. You tense your fingers in front of your knees or bring your hands up to your knees. The back might be bent a little bit forward to support what you're feeling in the tops of your feet and your knees. And as an option, you can straighten the back more and all the way if you wish. You can always have a blanket underneath your shins at this point, or a soft pillow. It's hard to stay with a soft breath when the body is speaking to us loudly. So even if you find that you need to move and adjust this position, keep the breath soft while you do it. Playing with fire in yoga is called tapasya. It's a form of tapas. It's walk yourself forward so you can tense your fingers back in front of your knees and come back up to table. Straighten your right leg out behind you with your foot on the floor, curl the toes under, and gently push out through your right heel. It's a nice release from what we were just doing. Drop the right knee back to the floor, straighten your left leg behind you and curl the toes under so your left foot is on the floor. And gently straighten your left leg, push the left heel towards the back of the mat. Good. Come down onto your knees. Make sure you have something soft for your knees so you can bring your hands back to your hips and straighten your spine with both knees on the floor. I always practice with 2 mats, sometimes 3. So I encourage that. Step your left foot forward, bend into your left knee. And then pulse forward into your left knee so you feel opening in the front of your right quad and right hip flexor. Keep your chest open. Good. Hinge your ribs towards your left thigh. Tense your fingers on either side of your left foot. Curl your back foot under. Press up to lunge. Good. Release back to table. Hands to your hips. Step your right foot forward and pulse into your right knee to open the front of your left quad, left hip flexor. Hinge forward, tent the fingers, press up to lunge. Step forward and hang over your toes in a forward fold. Knees can be softly bent to allow everything to hang towards the floor, including the crown of your head. Bounce gently. And roll it up slowly. Draw your hands up the inside of your legs, inside your knees, inside your thighs, front of your hips. Inhale the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale the hands to the center of your chest. Close your eyes and rest here. Widen your feet out a little bit wider than they are when you came to standing. Hinge from your hips. Bend both knees just a little bit. Shift your weight over to your left foot and step back onto the ball of your right foot. Hands still pressed, thumbs in the center of your chest. So the right leg is straight enough so you feel opening in the front of your right hip flexor, right quad, just like you did before. Spine straighter. Good. Drop the right heel down to the floor, straighten your left leg, bring your hands to your hips. Hinge forward, begin to hinge forward just at the hips. Extend the crown of the head out over the top of your big left toe towards the top of the mat. check in with that. Make sure the breath is still gentle and soft. As an option, you could release your hands from your hips and reach the hands out over the top of your mat more. It's going to intensify the opening here much more. So choose wisely. Good. Bend into your left knee and draw the hands back to your hips. Walk your left foot into the middle of the mat so you end up in a warrior two stance and bring your arms out to the side. Into warrior two. Rest here. It's nice when warrior two is a resting pose, isn't it? So that's good prana is moving. When warrior two becomes a resting pose, it's a good thing. Inhale the arms up overhead, touch your fingertips together and drop the right hand away and down the back of your right leg into a reverse warrior. I can see everybody's got in a nice sunny space, more or less there, so let the sun come in between your ribs on your left side. Get some vitamin D. I heard it's good. Back to warrior two, straighten your front leg. Triangles, hinge from your hip, reach the left arm out over the top of your left foot and in front of your mat and drop the left arm down. Wherever it lands is fine, whether it's above the knee, at the knee, just below the knee, or all the way down to your foot, you choose. Your chest moves away from the right side of your mat. Pelvis moves towards the right side of your mat. When you do that, you're going to feel the alignment of triangle, which is a beautiful feeling in the body as it happens. Good. Bend the left knee, come back to warrior two again. Inhale the arms up overhead. Touch the fingertips together and release the arms back to warrior two. Windmill down to lunge. Step forward and hang over your toes in the forward bend. Roll it up slowly. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the palms to the center of your chest. Thumb touches right in the center of your chest in between your pectoral muscles. Widen your feet out a little bit. Bend your knees. And step back with the left leg. So you feel an opening in the front of the left hip flexor again. Straighten your spine. Pull your shoulder blades a little bit towards each other. Lift your elbows up. Chin is level to the horizon. You may feel the urge to slide the right foot a little more towards the top of the mat so you can bend a little more deeply into your right knee. That's optional. Keep your spine long. Drop your left heel down to the floor, straighten your right leg, bring your hands to your hips. So your feet are wide, so it's not like if you were trying to stand on a balance beam right now, both feet would be off of the balance beam. So your feet are wide, so the whole mat is your balance beam. So your left foot's over to the left side, your right foot's over to the right side. And begin to hinge only from your hips. Reaching the crown of your head out over your big toe. Both legs are straight but not locked out. Notice the tendency to want to shift all the weight on the right foot to the outside of the right foot. Make sure you press your big toe and the toe next to it into the floor and the ball of your right foot into the floor also. Arms can optionally reach out straight over the mat, towards the top of the mat. Belly can move towards the right thigh. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull the elbows back and walk yourself into warrior two. The right foot walks towards the center of the mat. Straight spine. And rest in warrior two. Soft shoulders, soft neck, soft through the back of the neck. Resting in warrior two is nice. It doesn't always happen like this. Inhale the arms up overhead and touch your fingertips together. Drop the left arm down the back of your left leg. Reach the right arm up. Turn and look at the palm of your right hand. Relax your shoulders and neck. Let things soften. Good. Straighten your front leg. Arms level to the horizon. Hinge from the front of your right hip. Legs are straight but not locked out. Reach the right arm as far forward as you can. Hold there for a moment. Hold it and then let it drop down and land wherever it's going to on your right leg. Left arm opens up. Very light in the right hand on your right leg. Just a little bit of pressure. Once again, your hips and pelvis move towards the left side of your mat. Chest moves away from the left side of your mat, and you'll feel that through your whole left side. Good. Bend into the front knee, back to warrior two. Inhale the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, I'm going to step the back foot forward to the top of the mat. Close your eyes. Rest here. Squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears, onto your back and down. Lift the crown of your head up, stand tall. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Pull your elbows down so they draw your shoulders away from your ears. Hinge from your hips. And come halfway down with a flat back. Bend your knees until your belly touches against the front of your thighs. Squat down. Tense your fingers. Step your left foot back to lunge. Right foot back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale the downward dog. This is the only downward dog we're going to do. Hold it in stillness and let everything move. Let the energy move, run. How are you breathing? Are you breathing in and out through your nose, in and out through your mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth? Inhale to plank. Walk your feet a little closer together, if not touching. I like to touch the balls of my feet and ankles together. Good. Keep your elbows tucked in towards your ribs and gradually lower yourself towards the floor. But as you do so, come up onto your tips of your toes and lower yourself down. Let everything rest to the floor. Slide your palms a little bit further back so they can't go back any further. Your arms or your elbows are at a 90-degree angle to the floor, and then press up. Stay on your knees. The modified upward dog. Spine is long. If you feel a lot of pressure in your lower back, find a way to lengthen your spine so you don't feel that quite so much. And slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Right ear to the floor, cactus arms. Slide the left knee up into half frog. Rest. Release the left leg straight, switch ears and knees. One more breath in. As you breathe out, straighten your right leg and roll over to your right side and onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Very gentle rock from side to side to soothe and ground and center your low back, mid back. Good. With your eyes closed, release your feet to the floor. Straighten out one leg and then the other to the floor. And let the arms come down by your side with your palms up, eyes closed. Bring your attention to your hairline and forehead and relax. Soften your eyes, face and jaw. Throat. Relax your chest and arms. Soften the ribs and back. Relax all the way down past your hips, into your legs, all the way down to the soles of your feet. And rest.
Find your way. Begin to find your way out of your rest. Take a moment for a breath or two on your right side before you sit up. At the beginning of the class, I started off by talking about what it is that we want to feel more of in our body, but I think that when I said that thought wasn't fully formed. I think a better way to describe that concept would be to where do I want to focus my energy? And it may not necessarily be on more of something, but focusing my energy towards something maybe in the sense of alignment of mind, body, and spirit towards some intention that I might have, or aspire, some aspiration that I have, which is different than a desire. More can run towards desire, towards grasping, more ice cream, more muscles, more whatever, which may not necessarily be what the intention is. So, thank you for practicing yoga this morning. And thank you for sharing your lovely practice space. It's actually really cool because I'm in this big echoey chamber all by myself, and while it's beautiful in here and sunny, it's really nice to see your practice spaces and connect with you in that way. May this practice help move us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, and to our true essence and intention. Namaste. So, gentle bow to your intention. To the earth. And to your own inner wisdom. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Hey, Henry, send me your address. I made up a new batch of candles yesterday, so I can send you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do that.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. If
I'll
anybody's
take care
looking for homemade Rooster Wings beeswax candles, I'm a beeswax candle maker now. They're really cool.
I want those.
You want those? I'll drop some by the shop.
Where are you
Okay.
getting beeswax?
There's a place in Billerica that sells beeswax. You can get it in 20-pound blocks. I bought the last one I got in 5-pound blocks, and I just take a hammer to it and smash it up and melt it. And I got some small mason jars that I put the wax in. And is it safer?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
We used to be beekeepers. Essex County has a beekeepers association. You can go local if you want.
Oh, I can
Just
get,
saying.
I'd love to get local wax if I could get it. I don't want to drive 40, tell me where, because I don't want to drive 40 minutes to Bill Ricker.
Yeah, no, I'll send you a link or two.
Okay, awesome. They smell so
Sounds
good.
good.
I like the way you carried out this whole bee motif, this vibe, the hive and BuzzFeed, and now you got the
The bee, I didn't,
beeswax candles.
that's totally, I didn't even think of that. That was, really, seriously, that was, I didn't.
It's excellent.
But, well, hopefully in the spring the bees will be buzzing, right? We'll be able to buzz around the hive in person, you know. You can come
Yes,
back,
it'd be nice.
you can come back and nectarize the building, you know. Pollinate the building. We need it.
All right, Mike, I'll send you my address. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Great class today.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.